Let you stay at home and play games, but you become the richest person. Introduction. www.zhaoshuyuan.com. On December 22, 2023, the 20th anniversary commemoration area of Fantasy Journey to the West became popular. Gu Fan, a Bone Ash level player who wants to taste his youth, has decided to start from scratch and fight again. But to my surprise, the popularity of the memorial area is all a facade. Because a month later, Fantasy Westward Journey released a stunning second installment. https://www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Chapter 1. Returning to 2004, Reigniting Passionate Youth. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ding. The hot-blooded youth system has been bound. Next stop, acquire a pig farm. What thing? The sudden system prompt sound left Gu Fan stunned on the spot. The big but computer in front of him made his mouth slightly open. Turn your head mechanically and look around. The study with a rich sense of time allowed him to identify his position at a glance. This is his former home. This fact surprised Gu Fan a bit. Because in his memory, he, who lived for 2 or 4 years, was clearly sitting in his study at home criticizing the major changes in the Spring Festival expansion pack, The Road to Destiny, of Fantasy Westward Journey. As an online game that has been in operation for 20 years, Fantasy Westward Journey surprisingly modified the basic gameplay of the game and launched an unprecedented Super Beast battle. For summoning beasts, Super Beast is definitely an epic enhancement. Taking Super Agility as an example, with a 5% chance of triggering, summoning beasts can perform 2 operations within 1 turn, which is unimaginable in any turn-based game. But for players' wallets, this must be an epic weakening. Because currently, summoning beasts that can be considered as card faces need to undergo significant updates. And there are 2 different ways to update this. One way is to randomly train through blessings. Each summoned beast can receive up to 4 blessed super skills, but only one will randomly take effect in each battle. Even so, it doesn't mean you just need to wash one. Because the random effects of a single battle are directly drawn from your own blessing field, if you draw a blank super skill, you will not have a super skill in that battle. So, in order for this blessed super skill to be 100% effective, it is necessary to wash all 4 blessed squares. Those who are lucky can enter the soul at once, while those who are unlucky will curse their mother in anger. Another approach is to directly type the book. But this type of storytelling requires a certain number of skills for summoning beasts. The formula is number of summoning beast skills /4.1. That is to say, summoning beasts with skills below 7 cannot play books, 8.11 skills can only play 1 book, 12.15 skills can only play 2 books, 16.19 skills can play 3 books, and skills above 20 skills can play 4 books. Moreover, books created through Super Beast Battle are 100% effective upon entering battle, and can coexist with the super skills obtained through blessings. More importantly, when playing Super Beast Duel for summoned beasts, their gameplay is still the same as regular book fights, and high-level beasts will never cover low-level skills. For example, a 20-skill all-red baby with advanced sneak attack skills. If the player wants to launch a super raid, it will randomly devour any skill instead of directly defeating the advanced raid. If it's just about swallowing Gao Bai, Gao Lian, and Gao Yizhan, then it's easy to say. But if we swallow the special, then this baby can be brought back to the furnace. And if you want 100% coverage, there is only one way. It's about spending a lot of money to increase your chances. 30 Divine Daodu can increase the success rate by 1%, with a small probability of increasing it by 100%. And this increase in probability can be accumulated. That is to say, if you are lucky, you will have a 100% chance of coverage after spending 30 magic tricks. If you are not lucky, you will have to spend 3,000 magic tricks to cover low-level skills in Super Warcraft. So as you can imagine from the bottom of your feet, Super Beast Quest storytelling will only become a toy for god heroes. Because there are 83,000, and 240,000 divine bags. Spend 240,000 yuan to maintain a skill. Is there 4 guarantees for 960,000 yuan? A more ordinary boss who wants to play is really using his own annual salary to challenge rich brothers' pocket money. In addition, the expansion pack of The Road of Destiny also brings players a physical puzzle. The Heavenly Dharma of Duo and Patrol can increase one's physical attack power by 0.2 and reduce one's defense power by 0.2. This skill will cause the value of countless attacking pets to plummet. If that's all, then it's okay. Because high-end demon refining usually affects the boss. The boss's consumption will cause a surge in Dream Coin, which in turn will benefit countless individual players. But the problem is that the expansion pack of Destiny's Road not only makes modifications to the summoning beast system, but also blocks the way for ordinary players. The replica system has been adjusted, and there is no need for a bottomless black wind. The Heavenly Riot will not enchant, and the Shashui dungeon will no longer produce fixed pearls. Even the things exchanged for dungeon points have changed. Although at the same time, the planner also divides the rewards of the dungeon into 2 types. Ordinary and Destiny. After completing the Destiny dungeon, players will trigger a lottery gameplay, which has the opportunity to obtain rich items and monetary rewards. But probability is something that everyone understands. When this new way of punching bosses and kicking commoners emerged, Gu Fan, who had been playing fantasy for 20 years, immediately blacked out and passed out. As for the reason, it's very simple. In order to be able to retire in the 20th anniversary commemorative area that will open on December 22, 2023, as a 5th person, he specially spent 88,000 yuan to open 5 exclusive green passes. In order to make it to the top 75 in the first time, he also spent tens of thousands to download Beast Resolve from the Treasure Pavilion and played a set of all red 4 skills, Rui. According to the past situation, as long as he can make it to 75% in the first time, all previous expenses can be recouped exponentially. But now who knows how much in-game output will be reduced? Who knows how much output will be pulled from the pocket? Moreover, he has stocked up in many old areas. Those things are worth $1 million and haven't been sold out yet. It was precisely because the future was uncertain that Gu Fan, who was filled with anger, turned his eyes black. And when he wakes up, sleeping trough. How could I be reborn with this anger? And I also have a system. Thinking of this, Gu Fan suddenly turned his head. On August 20, 2004, in the bottom right corner of the computer, he immediately turned around and rushed out of the room. Entering the bathroom, in the mirror, his immature face made his body tremble. Raising his hand and pinching his arm, the sudden pain excited him immensely. Although he had a car and a house in his previous life, at the same time, he was almost running for the general public, tickets may be a very important thing, but to rejuvenate oneself is the true desire. Not to mention, he still has a system now. Following the routine in Jian Yang's novel, this means he can reach the pinnacle of his life in this world. Earned it. Make a fortune. Gu Fan clenched his right fist and swung it fiercely. But soon, as he savored it, he realized something was wrong again. Wait. The system prompt I just heard seems to be asking me to purchase a pig farm. Gu Fan, who smelled the abnormality, quickly called out the system. Then, everything related to the system appeared before him. The system he obtained is called Hot Blood Youth, and its significance is to help the host regain youth and repair regrets. Due to the fact that most of Gu Fan's previous life was related to Fantasy Westward Journey, and his biggest regret before his rebirth was not being able to give Fantasy a big plan, the system made adaptive adjustments according to his ideas. Clarified his expectations, determined the development direction, and provided 5 major functions. The first one is Super Green Pass. The host can enjoy Fantasy Westward Journey without queuing on any server. The second one is super free. The point card consumption generated by the host in Fantasy Westward Journey will be paid by the system. The third one is the super clone. Everyone gets tired sometimes, and when the host needs it, the system can take over the character to continue cultivation on behalf of the host. The operations that can be performed include but are not limited to catching ghosts, scenes, darts, sealing demons, etc. The fourth one is super lucky. Although rebirth is already a great blessing, the rebirth belt system is the greatest blessing. Therefore, in the future, the host will be even more fortunate in participating in activities related to Journey to the West. For example, the chances of encountering mutations and babies in the scene will be greatly increased at jiaozuiyuan.com. Other activities such as crafting, refining demons, and digging treasures will also bring surprises. The fifth one is the Super General Order. The host account will never be stolen. Note: the current level of this system is level 1, and one character can be bound. System upgrade requirement: bind characters to level 10. After the system upgrade, the host will receive more binding slots and the functionality will also be improved. Hope the host can acquire the pig farm and dismiss the planner with the help of the system. The simple and clear functions and the system's established goals make Gu Fan laugh and cry. To be honest, he really didn't expect that after playing Fantasy for 20 years, he would have to play Fantasy again after being reborn. More importantly, this time, his goal in playing Fantasy was actually to acquire a pig farm. Although in his past life, there was indeed a joke circulating in the gaming industry. The virtual items in the pig farm treasure pavilion are worth billions, and taking them can take the pig farm. But after all, this is just a joke between players. Do you really want to buy a pig farm by playing games? That's not bullshit. However, since hanging on to my dad thinks he can handle it, then we have to give it a try, right? For example, if we give him a 0 damage rating earlier, wouldn't the startup funds for acquiring the pig farm come? And then taste the mousy. Feel the fear of rising across the ocean. Isn't it already done? Thinking of this, Gu Fan sat back in front of the computer. The next second, he clicked on the small icon with yellow text on a brown background. Fantasy Westward Journey. Start up. Chapter 2. The Summer Palace in the First District of Beijing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gu Fan, who lived in his previous life, was a seasoned fan of fantasy. Whenever Dream opens a new area, he will decisively join the first server in that region. For example, famous Three Realms is the 59th district of Journey to the West, on par with Capital District 1 and Magic City District 1. Wentao Wulyu is the first server of the Three Realms of Fame. Therefore, there must be the figure of Gu Fan in the Wentao Wulyu section. The reason for this constituency is that the first server in each region is likely to become the Eurozone. The influx of a large number of players will keep prices at a very comfortable ratio, making it easier for bricklayers to produce better. Of course, the electoral experience from the previous life is no longer useful today. 20 years later, Fantasy Westward Journey has entered its old age and is far from the current vitality, so if you want to make money, you need to carefully consider the electoral district. But now, as long as it is a new area, there is basically no problem. Moreover, in Gu Fan's memory, the day when he decided to play Fantasy seriously seemed to be August 20th, 2004. Because on this day, a new server called the Summer Palace opened in Zone 1 of the capital. The name of this server is only 20 kilometers away from his real address. So, a month ago, he changed his regional server after being tricked by the classic expansion pack Happy Home from Dream. After registering the account, he scanned the official website, and the same prompt made him laugh. Just as Gu Fan was about to close the web page, log into the game, and enter the Summer Palace, which carried the beautiful youth, a notice hung on the official website caught his attention. Free Bubble earns gold coins, leading beast in fantasy westward journey. This title attracted Gu Fan to instinctively click, and then an activity interface popped up. Since the appearance of Popo in Fantasy Westward Journey, whether it is the cute ordinary bubbles of elves or the super bubbles of divine beasts with extraordinary abilities, they have added endless fun to players' gaming life, and have been favored by players. Being able to have a bubble to accompany them has become a dream for many players. Now, the opportunity has arrived. In order to allow more players to experience the charm of bubbles, Fantasy Westward Journey has teamed up with Internet Billion Popo to launch an activity called Free Bubbles Earn Gold Coins and Fantasy Westward Journey Leading God Beasts. As long as you are an Internet Billion Popo user, you can participate in the activity and have the opportunity to win the game's God Beast Super Bubbles and Ordinary Bubbles as summoning beasts. Super Bubbles. The sudden appearance of the pink figure aroused Gu Fan's memories. As the first mythical beast in Journey to the West, Super Bubble is a true fan of millions of people. That cute design has once pierced through the inner defenses of countless players. In addition, it possesses the trait of immortality and the name of a divine beast. In the early stages of game operation, almost all players wanted to have a cute and violent Super Bubble. Unfortunately, the idea is very beautiful, and the reality is very vivid. The reason why Fantasy Westward Journey launched Super Bubble is that Piggy Farm wants to use the game's traffic to develop its own chat software, Piggy Farm Popo, in order to seize the market of the neighboring company, Goose Factory Ball. When the greatest significance of the existence of Super Bubbles is drainage, their placement will be quite cautious. One is that rare things are precious. The second is that large-scale advertising will cause significant fluctuations in the number of online users of Pig Farm Popo. When countless game players download Pig Farm Popo just for the sake of Super Bubbles, once they get what they want, they are likely to give up the software directly. This behavior will make the data of Popo very unsightly. In his past life, Gu Fan was also a pursuer of Super Bubbles. He participated in all the activities of the pig farm to get Super Bubbles. As a result, he did not receive a Super Bubble until the collapse of the pig farm Popo. Finally, I bought one with real gold and silver. And now glancing at the activity information, the fact that it started on July 13, 2004 and will end on August 31 made him clear that even if he went to the liver now, he wouldn't be able to catch up with the activity. To participate in the lottery, one must have 1 million Popo coins. New users who register for a Pig Farm Popo will only receive 1,000 gold coins, and the rest can only slowly hang up and become active. If there is still 1 month left until the end of the event, he will definitely do it. But when the deadline is only 10 days away, that can only be confirmed next time. Close the web page and open the game. Select the regional server and enter the account password. Due to the blessing of his godfather, there were no queue prompts, so Gu Fan smoothly entered the login interface. Next, 6 blue boxes appear in the center of the screen. It represents the maximum number of characters that an account can accommodate. In the lower right corner, there are 3 options: Character Creation, Previous Step, and Enter Game. This is the old login interface for Journey to the West, and in the future, it has already been abandoned by the pig farm. Stay for 2 seconds, it's a moment of remembrance, then Gu Fan clicks to create. Then, without hesitation, he selected the blue-clad hero from the human race and named him White Clothed No Tears. That's right. The character created by Gu Fan is a swordsman. The sect he wants to join is the Tang Dynasty. Although in the next 2 or 4 years, the Tang Dynasty has suffered a devastating downfall. In the expansion pack of The Road of Destiny, Qing Yao Jin has even died in battle, and Tang's master has officially become a shop assistant. But in this era, the Tang Dynasty is still incredibly brave. Wearing 3 dyed black clothes. Take a heaven-reliant hand, that's a symbol of strength. 3 cuts over. You don't end, I end. That is the best portrayal of Tang Dynasty violence. As a profession that can participate in all the gameplay of fantasy, starting from scratch with it is the right path. As for what, the Dragon Prince is also very handsome and the tiger head monster is also very cute. In this era of slow upgrading, the legal system is definitely not as fast as the Tang Dynasty in the early stages of upgrading. Of course, if you go against the scales of the 5 Forces Dragon Palace and level A, let's just pretend that I haven't said anything. After choosing the name, Gu Fan also pressed the confirm button. The game screen flashed instantly, and Janya Wharf suddenly appeared. At the same time, a system prompt sound also sounded in his ear. Ding! Detected that the host has successfully logged into the game. The official binding of Beijing District 1, Summer Palace, white clothes don't tear. Wishing the host a pleasant game. Compared to later games, the game, Fantasy Westward Journey, of this era was still relatively rough. There is no beginner's guide, no Taoyuan village, no dreamy compass, and no red and green soup. With the sound of lively music, the crowded scene at Janya Wharf left Gu Fan deeply moved. Since the 12 zodiac animals that captured summoning beasts didn't need to be claimed by themselves, this place has never been so lively again. When Gu Fan arrives in front of the pet fairy and wants to claim a dragon and create a beautiful meaning of dragon leaping and tiger leaping with his zodiac sign tiger, he can find the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. His character has returned to Janya Dock. The sudden teleportation made his eyelids skip a beat. The characteristic of taking one step at a time, with a graceful and 3-step stop, and a structured stop, made his eyes turn black. Sleeping slot. I already have a system. Why are you still looking at Aunt Wang's card here? Gu Fan cursed and cursed. Unfortunately, the hot-blooded youth system did not give him a response of half a penny. So, he could only withstand the pressure, lead a dragon, and then move desperately above Janya City. According to Gu Fan's initial plan, if conditions permit, he would like to stay in Janya City for a while. Pick up some silver, some ghost-cut grass and 4-leaf flowers, some buns, and 2 big turtles. Send one of them to the seafood purchaser, and then you can go to the weapon shop where Lei Haizi is located to buy weapons. There's no way. In the era without beginner gift packages, all startup characters were whiteboards. The easiest way to get some equipment is to go for free in the Dragon Palace, just like the Great Sage. Because every once in a while, the game system will issue a prompt, showing that a gust of wind has blown by, and many treasures of the Dragon Palace have been blown down to Janya City. At this time, low-level players can celebrate. The turtle is worth 250 taels, and the giant frog is worth 35 taels. Just pick it up and you can come up with a weapon. Until, the appearance of Li Yongsheng. But in the case of game card overload, playing monsters naked is the best choice. And when Gu Fan arrives at the top of the map of Janya City, which is the crossing point between Janya City and Donghai Bay, the first thing you can see is the endless dialogue boxes. Chapter 3. Tips for upgrading. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Right at the beginning. The dialogue emoticons in the game are inputted using #+ numbers. Due to the author's account not having the Jianyang text illustration function enabled, emoticons cannot be inserted into the text. However, displaying images directly in the game will make readers who have not played the game appear somewhat abstract. Therefore, the meaning of the emoticon will be noted with text after the number emoticon. In addition, although Aunt Wang has set official meanings for each of her expressions and added notes with Chinese meanings, each player's understanding is slightly different, and the meaning of the notes in the text is only the author's personal understanding. Number 32 Number 32 Number 32, shouting, get on the car to catch sea caterpillars in the Donghai Cave. Number 76 Number 76 Number 76, shut up, don't. Number 80 Number 80 Number 80 Number 80, contemptuous, if you jump from scratch to level 10. Looking for a wife, I want to play for a long time, I want to be from the local capital. I live within the 3rd Ring Road. The crazily surging chat box is like a dark cloud blocking the sky and blocking the game world completely. The densely packed characters are like ants, blocking the gates of Janya City. Although this grandeur still exists in the future, such as in the Eurozone's 2008, Happy Birthday, Forbidden City, and Lanting Preface, the rooftops in those costumes are even more crowded than here. But the joy in the novice village is a characteristic of this era. Glancing lightly, Gu Fan didn't find a favorite shout. With a quick press of the shortcut key, Gu Fan chose to build his own team. Then, he typed, rush to level 10 in 2 hours, follow the command to number 28 number 28 number 28, sunglasses and soybeans, I'm cool, if we upgrade according to the principle of prioritizing efficiency, Gu Fan should choose Wukai now. But using a big but from a few years ago for a 5-fold opening. I'm afraid this special code is not a dream. The computer Gu Fan is currently using was purchased in 2002. It is equipped with a 1.2 GHz Celeron 3 and a 256 Samsung DDR. It is certainly no problem to run a 128 Dream on its own, and it will not be too laggy if it is open to both sides, but it will be open to 3, open to 4 and open to 5. That's not about changing the configuration, but about buying 3 more computers. Since he couldn't do the 5th round, he naturally had to team up and upgrade, and after quickly scrolling through the ads a few times, the team up icon at the bottom of the game also flashed wildly. Open the interface and click Agree wildly. Then, the game suddenly paused, and a few seconds later, countless models swayed wildly. At the top of the window, there are also 4 additional avatars. 3 of them are swordsmen. Another one is Xiaoyao Sheng. Good guy. This is like poking Tang's nest. Although everyone is at level 0 and has not yet apprenticed, according to the current situation, out of the 5 people, 4 are guaranteed to enter the Tang Dynasty, and the only uncertain one is likely to be Xiaoyao Sheng. Because this character worships many people such as Huasheng, Fangxuan, and Tong. Captain, can we really reach level 10 in 2 hours? Number 55 number 55 number 55, doubt, as Gu Fan sighed, a sudden sentence from the team pulled his thoughts back. Upon closer inspection, it was a swordsman named Yu, it's none other than me, who asked. Of course. Gu Fan typed on the keyboard and said, you just need to do 4 things. First, give it your all. Second, fight from left to right from front to back. Third, try not to hit the big turtle and sea caterpillar with residual blood. Fourth, don't randomly grab the baby. That's all. So simple. Number 24 number 24 number 24, staring, another swordsman, Wu. I don't believe it. Of course. Gu Fan Man was confident. We can have a fight first. If you think it's slow, you can get off the car directly. Team, you are none other than me. Okay. Then hurry up and drive, Captain. Team, wha. Understood. I'm fine. And you guys? I'm not a problem either, Captain. Let's go. Team, free and carefree. I understand now, we can charge now. Gu Fan was very satisfied with his well-organized answers, and without hesitation, he led the team straight to Donghai Bay. After leaving Janya City, the game screen instantly flashed and a blue background chessboard appeared. 8 big turtles are arranged from left to right, corresponding to 5 players who are not very neat. It took about 3 or 4 seconds for everyone to complete the operation. Then, as the captain, Gu Fan rushed forward and slapped the turtle in a big way. With a loud duong sound, a 34 injury appeared. Xiaoyao Sheng, named Zi Xiaoyao, followed closely behind and dealt 28 points of damage with a virtual spike. On the 3rd hit of the Lonely Shadow and Residual Blade, it dealt 31 damage points. Under the chubby beating of 3 people, the big turtle that they were staring at instantly turned west. Due to the absence of the pre-selected target, the remaining 2 people attacked indiscriminately. Even so, Gu Fan was very satisfied. Because gathering fire is a necessary skill for improving efficiency in turn-based games. What made Gu Fan even more satisfied was that even if the first round was chaotic, after the second round started, the other members of the team did not have the intention to go up and repair the knife. They still started fighting from the left and sent one away twice before the others flew around. Perhaps due to their strong execution ability, they won the battle in just 4 rounds and gained 238 points of experience. Open the character panel with a gentle click, and everyone will be promoted to 2 levels. What's going on? Is there a problem? Said by E without shedding tears. It seems like there's no problem. I feel like I'm playing faster than when I used to. Yes. When I was playing before, a battle had to last for half a day. It ended in just 2 minutes, said the lonely Shadow Saber. Team, wha. Understood. Captain is amazing. This is only 2 levels. Team, free and carefree. Go. 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 Captain. I believe you. The excitement of the 4 people made Gu Fan laugh. After confirming that none of them jumped out of the car, Gu Fan held down the left mouse button and dragged the team towards the sunken ship. They walked and stopped all the way, and by the time they entered the bottom of the East China Sea, everyone had already reached level 4. This efficiency overjoyed the rest of the team. At this moment, almost everyone feels that what Gu Fan said is true. However, before they could be happy in the team for a while, a huge howl suddenly appeared. As a half-blooded swordsman, what? After fanning out a big pussy towards the nth big turtle a countershock, shaking his eyes with stars. 31, with just 1 strike, he was left with only a bloody skin. This situation caused the other guys in the team to constantly hit number 24, staring. And dot. Understand means howling in the team. Oh Captain. I finally understand why you said you won't hit the big turtle with residual health. Number 15, crying, because they will rebound. Number 15, crying, that's right. Not hitting anti-shock monsters with residual health is also a leveling skill. As long as you are an old player of fantasy, you all know that Wang Yi in the game is full of malice. Residual blood is prone to rebound, which is light, while carrying too much money can easily lead to death, which is the most disgusting. Besides, there is also a reason why Gu Fan Gang just said not to randomly grab the baby. On the surface, a full team of characters and babies is the true efficiency, but wild pets and demon refining products are 2 different concepts. The latter is a race against time, and the former the low damage strikes of low-level summoning beasts are really a waste of time. Zhaosuiyuan.com. If we had to describe it, it would be like a tiger-headed Tang pulling a cart, and there was also a round of 16 sword monkey play in the team. That experience is simply torture. Of course, if it were in this era, others would only say that big shots are awesome. Let's defend next, said by E without shedding tears. If you have medicine, you can add it to him, said by E without shedding tears. After finishing the fight, you must eat steamed buns, said by E without shedding tears. Team, wha. Understood. Okay. Gu Fan's calmness brought the team back to normal and also helped everyone avoid the shortcomings of a few people. After experiencing this incident, the team's playing style also became more cautious. For example, when encountering 10 monsters at the same time, the first one from the left in the front row is a giant frog, and the second one is just a big turtle. In this situation, the other 4 will take the initiative to attack the second monster, leaving the giant frog for the person with remaining health to fight. Although in Gu Fan's opinion, this kind of caution is meaningless, emphasizing efficiency itself in 2004 is not a very reasonable thing. These guys are willing to cooperate as long as they are willing, everything else doesn't matter. And just as Gu Fan pondered, according to the current progress, at most an hour and a half would be enough for him to rush to Chang'an. The chat channel of the team has gone viral again. Team, you are none other than me. Number 24, staring, team, understand. Number 24, team, lonely shadow and residual blade. Number 24, team, free and carefree. Number 24, the neat and uniform glare made Gu Fan frown. Full of confusion, he looked across from him, and then a yellow ball appeared in front of him. Chapter 4. Childhood Dreams. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sleeping Slot. Bubbles. The sudden appearance of the yellow figure caught Gu Fan's entire attention. Although in his previous life, Gu Fan relied on Fantasy Westward Journey to buy a car and a house. I have used both the super simple 3 fixed damage of the main attribute 21 defense and the 3 blue characters that defy the heavens. But if the delivery time is extended to 20 years, the total investment will be amplified to millions. That kind of performance is not really impressive. After all, in the turbulent 20 years of the trend, there were too many people who could buy a car or a house with their own hands. Moreover, the idea of relying on games to buy a car or a house may sound daunting, but isn't it actually just about working? Professional players indeed don't have to endure the boss's PUA, but if they want to earn some pocket money in the game. That also requires a neurotic approach to planning. So, everyone is actually the same. And it was precisely because Gu Fan felt that he was not among the luckiest group, that when he saw the bubbles, he became somewhat excited. On the first day of opening the server and the first hour of going online, did he encounter something special? This hanging father is too awesome, isn't it? To increase luck is to increase luck. With this kind of Godfather's protection, he can really explode Wang Yi's gold coins with great strength. And just as excited as Gu Fan, there are 4 other people in the team. Although judging from their game performance just now, these people are all veteran players of Fantasy Westward Journey, otherwise it would not be possible to directly call out the anti-shock skill, but veteran players of this era, isn't it also the cute new in the game? So, after seeing the bubbles, they instinctively hit number 24, staring, and at the same time, a flurry of voices also emerged. Team, it's none other than me. Sleeping Slot. Is this bubble? I've seen someone bring it before. Team, Understood. My brother told me that bubble is the most powerful summoning beast that can be caught in dreams. He dreams of wanting one. My classmate has a bubble. I heard he spent 200 yuan to buy it. It turns out that 200 yuan is what it looks like. It's so cute, isn't it? Team, free and carefree. You guys don't have anyone to fight it, do you? If we kill it, I'll fight with you guys. Don't be fooled by these people arguing incessantly in the team, but in reality, their actions are actually faster. Just as Gu Fan clicked on the capture button, the countdown on the combat interface had already disappeared. Immediately after, Gu Fan, who was of the same level but had the fastest speed, took the lead. The Yellow Dragon King walked steadily towards Bubble, and a burst of special effects flashed by. Bubble, the size of an egg, followed the Dragon King and left their camp with a bouncing motion. Arriving at the midfield and approaching the player, however, just as it was about to stick to Gu Fan, this guy suddenly seemed to wake up and broke free from the constraints of the Dragon King in an instant, jumping back in a flash. This situation made Gu Fan's mouth twitch and made countless number 89, drooling, appear in the team. But unfortunately, just when they feel that the failure of their competitors means they can reap success. The next 4 players took turns playing, but all suffered failures. Damn it! Why is this bubble so difficult to catch? Team, Understand. Things are precious when they are rare. Come on, my little horse. I'll get 200 yuan. Team, free and carefree. Bubble, come here. Don't run. Amidst excited shouts, the second round of arrests started from scratch. This time, Gu Fan was the first to take action, and the result was there were no more accidents, and yellow-orange bubbles bounced into his arms. The fact that, yes, made Gu Fan wave his right fist and get excited. At the same time, the team became lively again. Ah! My 200 yuan is gone. Number 15, number 15, number 15, crying, team, wow. Understood. My big bubble. Number 52, number 52, number 52, crying, team, free and carefree. Number 14, number 14, number 14, uncomfortable, captain, congratulations. Team, you are none other than me. Quick, fast, captain, let's take a look at your bubble. Number 45, number 45, number 45, curious, perhaps it is because the first main idea of Fantasy Westward Journey was that old Sue, who gave birth to a football team in the future, had already integrated his outfit into his bones. Therefore, the items and babies in this game can be displayed through chat channels. Hold down Shift, lightly tap the left mouse button, and the bubble just caught will be posted by Gu Fan to the team. Bubble, participation level. 0, attack qualification. 1211, defense qualification. 1380, physical qualification. 4200, spell qualification. 1012, speed qualification. 1064, evasion qualification. 1007, life. 9920, 5 elements. Earth, skills. Advanced defense, advanced luck, combo, regeneration, mental concentration, team, you are none other than me. Sleeping slot. 5 skills. Number 24, number 24, number 24, staring, team, wow. Understood. 2 advanced skills, and combo. This is too powerful. Number 24, number 24, number 24, staring, team, lonely shadow and broken blade. Envy. Number 47, number 47, number 47, naughty, why isn't it mine? Number 52, number 52, number 52, crying, team, free and carefree. Number 60, number 60, number 60, sneezing, damn it, captain, I have to say, you're really lucky. While everyone sighed, Gu Fan also widened his eyes, somewhat surprised. Because this bubble is indeed good. As long as you have played fantasy, you should know that bubbles summoning beasts qualifications are not very good in itself. It is already very good to have a raw attack capital of over 1200. More importantly, what Gu Fan likes most about this bubble is not its attack capital, but its physical and defensive capital. 4,200 yuan in physical capital and 1,380 yuan in defense capital should be considered, fully utilized, in his impression. Besides, it is also full of skills. Having high defense, high luck, concentration, and regeneration. Lying trough. Survival ability is simply amazing. It should be noted that high defense increases one's own level by 0.8 in defense, high luck reduces the critical hit rate of physical methods received, mental concentration can resist abnormal ceiling states, and regeneration restores one's own level by 2 in life each round. When these 4 skills and 4,200 physical assets are combined with 1380 defense assets, how does this bubble look? It's just a small steel plate. Take care of it casually. Find the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com and make some comparisons. He can easily create a single storyline no matter what. And on the first day of opening the district, you can simply browse the plot. This special code doesn't take off directly. As for the fact that this bubble still has a combo on its body. Well, as long as you are an old player of fantasy, you know that combo has become a negative skill in the future. Although it has a 45% chance of allowing babies to unleash 2 consecutive physical attacks. But at the same time, the physical attack effect of possessing this skill will be reduced by 25%. In addition, there is a debuff for mental concentration, which is to reduce the physical attack effect of summoned beasts by 20% while making them resist the abnormal state of being sealed. In the case where the basic attack has already been reduced by 20%, should combo attacks be reduced by another 25%. At such times, as long as it is an individual, it is impossible to expect this bubble to cause damage. In Gu Fan's opinion, if this bubble can smoothly carry up to 45 and be replaced by a D5 dog, it is already perfect. If it can carry up to 55 and be replaced by a heavenly soldier, that would be a big profit. Not to mention, the greatest significance of bubble existence is that appearance is justice. Therefore, after the battle ended, Gu Fan eagerly joined Bubble in the battle. Not only that, he also ordered a watch. When Huang Cancan's bubbles appeared next to the swordsman, "White clothes don't tear," Gu Fan immediately burst into laughter. That round and cute appearance made him extremely happy. If possible, he even wants to type on the current interface. "Hey! Come and take a look. The first bubble of the summer palace is freshly baked." Ha 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 ha. Chapter 5. Ideas for upgrading and learning from the Tang Dynasty. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 5648 GA. Ding Ling. After Bubble knocked out the last giant frog in the field with a handsome combo, the swordsman controlled by Gu Fan finally had a full green bar. With a golden light soaring into the sky, Gu Fan, who had been sitting in front of the computer for 90 minutes, finally reached level 10. Although compared to the speed of paying in 5 minutes in the future, the current process of brushing and upgrading is really painful. But at the same time, Gu Fan also has to admit that chatting and fighting monsters together is the real game. Since the goal of gathering had been achieved, Gu Fan did not take any longer to commemorate. After playing in the team with the phrase, "Green mountains remain unchanged, green water flows for a long time, and we will see each other later," he easily disbanded the team and ran frantically towards the upper right corner of the East Bay. As for the reason, it's very simple. He's going to the Dragon Palace. For ordinary players, apprenticeship seems to have only one path. That is to depart from Jianya City and head to the wilderness of Jiangnan. After enduring countless hardships, I arrived in Chang'an and flew through the NPC to the map where I wanted to apprentice. But for Gao Wan, it's the right way to go for free with the old Dragon King. In this era, all you need to do is talk to the shrimp soldiers in Donghai Bay, and they can teleport you to the Dragon Palace. Then, you can fly directly from the NPC in the Dragon Palace to Chang'an. Running in this way has two advantages. Firstly, it can save a lot of time. Secondly, for beginners, the Jiangnan wilderness is too dangerous. A strong wild boar cannot defeat enemies, and if it encounters a tree monster that has mastered water attack, then it can cross time and space, knocking you down. So, unless necessary, Gu Fan generally does not go to the wilderness of Jiangnan. As Gu Fan was running away, the friend interface in the lower right corner suddenly flickered. Upon opening it, it turned out to be a message sent by Free and Easy. "Brother, why don't we play together after making friends? I'm online every day, you can call me anything you swipe." Gu Fan smiled slightly at this news. In his view, he had already captured people's hearts with his profession. In his eyes, Carefree and Carefree is also a good player. Not to mention anything else, at least he listens to the command. "Okay," Gu Fan replied briefly and added him as a friend. Just as he was about to close the friend interface, a new message came. Zizi Xiaoyao said, "Brother, did you go to apprentice? White clothes do not shed tears." "Yes. Free and Carefree. Are you still playing after completing your apprenticeship?" "Of course, I plan to be promoted to level 30 today," said Bai Yi. Without shedding tears. The future journey to the west will have card level restrictions. The newly opened server only opens its level limit at regular intervals, before which players can only patiently wait. But in this era, Fantasy Westward Journey does not have so many restrictions. As long as you want to advance, you can do so with enough experience. However, even without official restrictions, the path for players to upgrade is slow. Firstly, there are no beginner tasks, and secondly, there are no various dungeons. When the only channel to gain experience is through scenes, all levels require time to stack. To put it simply, it's liver. Zizi Xiaoyao said, then we'll go sweep the tower together later. I'm also going to pay my respects now. Oh, by the way, I'm going to pay my respects to Huasheng. The news made Gu Fan frown slightly. Of course, he is not criticizing the lack of efficiency in the early stages of the transformation, but rather feels that upgrading by sweeping towers is simply a waste of time. Because the Wild Goose Pagoda is the only bright thunder seen in the entire fantasy westward journey, which means that all monsters can be seen by players with the naked eye. Players only need to control their characters to collide and enter the battle. When the gap between battles can be independently controlled by players, this is the best place to upgrade. Even in the future, for a long time, French players will be able to make money by carrying towers. Gu Fan, who lived in his past life, had done such a thing by opening 129 loyalty dragons and flying directly to Tower 6 with a moonlight treasure box. It's not too easy to brush tens of thousands of times a day. However, it is precisely because of the high efficiency of monster spawning here that many people come to upgrade. After a large number of people, if you want to fight monsters, you have to rely on grabbing, and this is actually a disguised waste of time. So Gu Fan typed, I don't sweep towers, I only sweep national borders. If I reach 20, I will go to the sect. Although burning Shuang is the best way to upgrade in this era, it is not the fastest. The quickest way to upgrade is to become a sect endlessly after level 20. Perhaps in the eyes of many players, sect missions can only be completed 20 times a day. But this is actually a misconception of maximizing benefits. Because the first 20 times of the sect mission are double, it is very cost-effective to do, so countless players flock to it. In this case, after 20 attempts, returning to normal rewards will make countless players lose interest. But for Gu Fan, who is motivated to buy NetEase, what is interest? As long as you can quickly level up, he can make crazy money. After sending out the message again, Gu Fan felt that Zi Xiaoyao, who had a different mindset from himself, should not send any more messages. However, as soon as he arrived at the Dragon Palace through the shrimp soldiers, the red handshake representing his friend flickered again. Free and carefree. Then I'll go too. The simple reply made Gu Fan smile and shake his head. Are you still relying on me? Despite that, he still typed, okay. After completing my apprenticeship, wait for me at the entrance of the palace. About 5 to 10 minutes. Since Carefree and Carefree insists on following, Gu Fan won't say anything. Spread to Chang'an through the Dragon Palace, then quickly fly to the Tang Dynasty. Then, Gu Fan saw that the huge government office was crowded with people. This is really the first fantasy sect. Gu Fan had some emotions. Although the official website of NetEase has never released the ranking of the number of sects in Journey to the West. But in future official forums, there have been public voting rankings for the first sect. Even though decades later, Super God Dog has become the true chief of the Tang dynasty with the help of the invincible god of war A Xian, more than 60% of voting players still say that they like the Tang dynasty. This kind of madness is definitely unprecedented. Zhaoshuyuan.com passing through the dense crowd, squeezing in front of old Cheng, quickly clicking on Apprentice, and then starting to learn skills. Point out the path of becoming an official, and then point out the divine path of returning to the sect. Everything will be done. As for the rest, let's talk about it later. Anyway, with a little more strength, you can level A and destroy everything. After mastering the skills again, all that remains to be done is equipment, and this seeing that the backpack he had just obtained from fighting monsters had not been identified, Gu Fan went directly to the equipment identification dealer. Mouse click, no surprises. Put on the rags that can be worn, sell the ones that cannot be worn, and then go to the Janya weapon shop to buy a level 10 seedling sword. Armed to the teeth, I arrived at the palace. Find, free and easy, and have them team up to pull the car. Don't you lead the team. I have something to attend to, take me with you. Don't worry, I'm right in front of the computer and can see anything, said Bai Yi without shedding tears. Oh yes, you can be busy, said the carefree team. I'm here, said the carefree team. Although he did not inquire about the reason for being carefree, he still had many doubts in his heart. For example, he didn't understand that Gu Fan, who was determined to quickly upgrade, was caught up in something that would make him lead the team with such a half-hearted attitude. The answer to this matter is actually quite simple. After handing over the task of leading the team to Zi Xiaoyao, Gu Fan opened the official website of NetEase again. Registered a second account. Because his main account is level 10 now, and he can bind a second character in the system. Chapter 6. Role 2, Clarify Objectives. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When No Tears in White Clothes reached level 10, Gu Fan's ear actually heard a system prompt sound. The hot-blooded youth system told him that the second binding field had already been opened. Next, he only needs to elevate the first bound character, No Tears in White Clothes, to level 20, raising the second unbound character to level 10 will elevate the system to level 3. Although the third level system will not open new binding fields, it will strengthen a certain function of the system. Since the task assigned by the system is double opening, Gu Fan, who has already seen the power of the system, naturally cannot rebel. After handing over No Tears in White Clothes to the system clone, Gu Fan, who had registered his account, also stayed at the character creation interface. To be honest, even though Gu Fan has 20 years of gaming experience, but at this moment, he still doesn't know what his second character is. If he were to create a character according to the most utilitarian gameplay, he should now create a Huaxing temple. Because the combination of Tang Dynasty and Huaxing allows him to overcome all difficulties. As long as the level is raised, just taking on the difficulty level can make him earn a lot of money. If we follow the most efficient gameplay, now he should build a dragon palace. There is no doubt about the group scrolling ability of the dragon palace. With his cooperation with the Tang Dynasty, scenes, ghost catching, demon sealing, and other activities should be able to be scrolled through. But these are actually just beautiful visions. Because the new account lacks foundation. Uneven skills, weak ability to increase health, lack of cultivation points, and low damage. And if the experience of some skills can be spent overnight, the tribute of some cultivation can be gradually accumulated. So equipment is a detail that cannot be slowly elevated with time and energy. Therefore, as a player who wants to reach the peak in a short period of time, the most important thing he needs to solve is equipment damage. There are two ways to obtain equipment in Fantasy Westward Journey. The first is system output. That is to say, the system drops obtained by players during their daily brushing process, or randomly generated during image mining. This method is the simplest, but at the same time, the equipment produced by the system is not truly top-notch. Secondly, it is artificial. And artificial in addition to learning essential building skills, what is also needed is the book iron. There are many ways to produce the book iron in Fantasy Westward Journey, such as digging for treasures. But this kind of output depends too much on luck. If you want to achieve stability in porcelain, you need to do the human environment task in Changshu village. And the difficulty of that task is actually very high. The vast majority of players are actually unbeatable. But nothing is absolute. In the future, players may need to seek help from thugs in the face of sudden battles while running the human ring. But in this era of Fantasy Westward Journey, there is actually a sect that can pass through human rings with zero investment. That is Daughter's Village. Thinking of this, Gu Fan decisively moved the mouse and selected the Flying Swallow Girl. After naming it Nishang Wujuan Dance, Gu Fan clicked on Confirm and entered the game. As long as you are an old player of Fantasy, you should have heard of the name Nini the Pig. As a player who doesn't touch any bugs and can rely solely on game understanding to make the game official urgently maintain the game twice, Little Pig Nini can definitely be called the most impressive technical player in Fantasy Westward Journey. And her record is also very legendary. In an era where equipment and medicine couldn't keep up with level upgrades, countless high-level players were defeated in front of the 200-man circle, and the deadly combination of Nyo Tu Ma Mian caused countless bosses to urinate in their buttocks. But Little Pig Nini easily abused them without reaching the full level and dressed in tattered clothes. At its root, it is because the daughter village has a skill called Choo Choo Pity. After releasing the skill, the character will stop moving but will also be protected from all damage. As long as the speed is fast enough to be the first to take action, the daughter's player becomes invincible. At the same time, by pairing it with a baby who possesses ghost art, it is possible to achieve a complete kill against all monsters. Because the effects of ghost art are also very abnormal. Summoned beasts will automatically resurrect after 5 rounds of death and are not affected by abnormal states. When such an invincible combination appeared, Little Pig Nini achieved the conquest of the human environment. Perhaps it was because this harmless killing method was too abnormal, so at that time, the planner of Dream, Lao Su, urgently maintained the game and added advanced perception and exorcism skills to all NPCs. The former can see through the invincibility of Daughter Village. The latter, if a ghost-like monster is killed, the opponent will die directly and cannot be resurrected. When this update appears, anyone knows that it is a patch specifically written for Little Pig Nini. After the invincible tactics became unusable, Nini the pig did not give up and developed a new strategy. Washed all of my attributes and then updated 2 special effects equipment. One is called Shura Mantra, and the other is called Fate Returning Technique. The former can rebound monster damage after being released. The latter can restore a large amount of chi and blood after use. After this gameplay appeared, Nini the pig's ring killing speed became faster. Previously, using invincible tactics would require slow refinement, but now, the fastest 7 rounds can solve the battle. And when Little Pig Nini posted this gameplay on Leaf Pig, feeling that he had encountered provocation, Old Su once again modified the game, and the cost of Fate Return technique was forcibly increased. At the same time, the maximum amount of chi and blood restored should not exceed the level of the restored character multiplied by 20. After this change, Nini the pig became a true legend at that time. There were actually many players cursing Nini the pig. Those people believe that it was Little Pig Nini who caused the daughter village to undergo a major renovation and become a sewer. Due to the fact that Gu Fan, who had experienced these things in his previous life, was still very young, and the major changes related to Little Pig Nini occurred in October 2004. As a newcomer to the fantasy, he didn't understand anything, so he also felt that Little Pig Nini's public behavior was indeed a provocation to the game company. But 20 years later, after undergoing major changes in the 3 realms, scenes, and dungeons, Gu Fan experienced a revolutionary change in his mindset as he witnessed the planning process of first cutting down 5 openings, then cutting down merchants, and even cutting down bosses. Zhaoshuyuan.com at that time, he had already understood that what was sick was planning. Without encountering any bugs or using any cheats, Little Pig Nini simply relied on her understanding of the game to defeat the monsters set by the planner. The planner then made urgent modifications and insisted on not charging to defeat them. Is this special code a bit outrageous? After the planning and modification of the monster, Little Pig Nini was a new monster that she had fought only after spending thousands of yuan on washing points and charging money to buy equipment. Then, the planning urgently modified it to require her to be dressed in top-notch clothing to pass. What's the difference between this and robbery? You know, that was over 1,000 yuan in 2004. They can buy a few square meters in the capital for the money they spend to challenge difficulty. People in this era are still very simple and have not seen the shamelessness of planning. If people have long known the greatest significance of game planning, it is to make money for the company. The domestic online gaming environment may not become the ghostly appearance of the future. The world where every breath costs money, and the three-currency economy created by Unreal 5, may not exist anymore. And it is precisely because Gu Fan has experienced the nausea of planning. So now he can confidently use the optimal gameplay to brush resources. Even if this gameplay can only last for a few months, that's enough. Because in this era, people can run at level 20. Therefore, as long as he works tirelessly, he will have the opportunity to touch the porcelain book iron tomorrow afternoon. The thought of being able to create a legend on the flower and fruit mountain, buying a golden back machete and handing over tasks, made Gu Fan even more motivated. After all, no matter what it is, as long as it comes across prostitution, it will be incredibly comfortable. Chapter 7. Luxury Package, Level 20 or above. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 2 hours later, when the time in the bottom right corner of the computer reached 18 o'clock, the flying swallow girl in pink clothes also rose to level 10. Perhaps it is because the probability of fantasy is difficult to speculate. During the 2 hours spent on the sunken ship and monster hunting, Gu Fan did not even see a baby, let alone a mutated pet with special bubbles. However, Gu Fan didn't care. After saying goodbye to his upgraded companions, he disbanded his team and ran towards the direction of the Dragon Palace where the shrimp soldiers were located. As for why didn't he teleport to Aolai country through the Aolai boatman in Donghai Bay, and then run directly to Daughter's village? The answer to this question is actually quite simple. At first, Gu Fan wanted to do the same, but when he clicked on the boatman to use the teleportation function, the other party told him that his level was not level 15 and he couldn't use the function. So, Gu Fan could only once again go for free with the old Dragon King. As with the previous operation, go to Chang'an through the shrimp soldier and fly to your daughter from the sect teleportation person. Immediately afterwards, he saw the flying swallows all over the sky. In fact, during the 20 years of operation of Fantasy Westward Journey, the number of players in Daughter Village was actually quite high. When the fixed injury is not reduced, many 5th team members like to use their daughters to pull the cart when matching lineups, because the efficiency is really high. The lineup of 5 daughters has also been popular for some time, and its popularity is only slightly lower than that of 5 holes and 5 putuo. At the same time, Daughter Village also possesses a large number of sealing skills, whether it is a sword club or a martial arts altar, which are very useful. Of course, the above are all reasons why people will choose their daughters in the future. However, in the present, the reasons why countless people choose their daughter's village are actually very simple. Firstly, the name of this sect sounds better, and secondly, the model of the flying swallow girl is more attractive. Like Xuan Sai in Bone Elves, it is very cute. Competing against the mature style of dancing Heavenly Concubine and Fox Beauty. What? Someone said there is still a character in the mature wind. Oh. To be honest, the modeling of the English female hero is indeed a bit ugly. After iteration, it becomes even uglier. Find Grandma's son to apprentice and point out the transformation of the returned sect. After casually changing a few pieces of equipment, Gu Fan then controlled the flying swallow woman to head straight to the palace collar. After finding a tower sweeping team to join, Gu Fan handed over the character to the system. There's no way, who can make the best summoning beast in the lower level, which must carry ghost magic, a skeleton monster. And its frequent haunt is 1.5 of the Wild Goose Pagoda. In this case, even if the tower sweeping upgrade is slow, he still has to go and sweep. After arranging his own account creation, Gu Fan shifted his focus back to Tang. In fact, during the training of his daughter, Gu Fan from the Tang Dynasty also had a watchful eye. When the leveling team of the Tang Dynasty entered the battle, the rest of the team exclaimed in amazement. Everyone became curious about the plump and round bubbles of meat. When the coachman, Carefree, said that this was a special pet in Fantasy Westward Journey, Gu Fan's bubble was caught during the upgrade process, and those people even showed endless envy. Not only that, a Tang Dynasty player named EP1-10 also spoke up and said that he wanted to buy Gu Fan's bubble, and for this, he was even willing to bid 300. Whether it's game currency or point cards, there's no problem, and if Gu Fan is in the capital, he can still trade offline. Because he lives in Hadian. To be honest, if it were Gu Fan from a previous life, he might have done this kind of transaction directly. Firstly, bubbles are not cost-effective summoning beasts. Secondly, the summoning beast system in Fantasy Westward Journey is really rich, with suitable summoning beasts for players to choose from at each level, such as the 25 Wolf, 35 Horseface, 45 Auspicious Beast, 55 Heavenly Soldier, 65 Phoenix, and 75 Lucky Lotus Parade, all of which are memories of a generation. But in this life, he really doesn't know how to sell. Collecting rare items with a system is the true way to play games. Not to mention, this bubble is still his first special moment of starting over, the auspicious omen of yellow-orange. So Gu Fan typed and refused. This has disappointed EP1-10 a lot. So much so that he didn't speak much during the subsequent burning process. And when Gu Fan switched back, this guy was even more prepared to jump off the car. Team, EP1-10. It's past 6 o'clock, I need to go eat now. I won't play after this one. Team, Prefectural Traveler. Ah. Don't you brush anymore. Team, EP1-10. No more brushing. Perhaps because EP1-10 answered too decisively, the Yin Chao Di Fu in the team named Di Fu Xing remained silent, and Gu Fan also casually opened his character interface. The fact that he was at level 18.5 made him shake his head slightly. Then, he opened the friend panel and sent a message to Free and Easy. White clothes don't shed tears. Do you still brush it? Free and carefree. Brush. White clothes don't shed tears. Don't eat. Free and carefree. I have eaten instant noodles, soy egg and ham sausage in internet cafes. Gu Fan was stunned when he suddenly came to announce the name of the dish. The next second, he put his fingers together and typed. Instant noodles, soy egg, ham and sausages. Boy. So you are a local tyrant. As long as you have been to an internet cafe at the beginning of 2000, you know that instant noodles with soy egg and ham sausage are a symbol of status. After all, what I ate in this meal was a 2-hour internet fee. When countless internet-addicted teenagers are still hungry to go online, a bag of crispy noodles from a small raccoon is already an interpretation of their strength. If someone bubbles noodles, that tempting aroma will definitely attract the attention of many people. And if, like the Dragon Warrior, there is a big brother who can order barbecue, those around me will surely envy me to death. Since Zizi Xiaoyao can continue to burn Shuang, Gu Fan didn't hesitate anymore and told the other party that he would also continue to brush, allowing him to return to the palace and reorganize after EP1-10 jumped off the car. Then, he once again threw no tears and white clothes to the system, allowing it to operate and level up, while he himself crawled out of the study and came to the kitchen, ready to make something to eat. That's right, Gu Fan lives alone. And the reason why he lives alone is also very simple. His parents are no longer there. That was last spring, when my parents, who were doctors, suddenly told Gu Fan that there was an emergency work in the hospital that required them to stay on duty for a long time and could not go home every day. Then there's no more then. And this is also the reason why he was addicted to fantasy for 20 years in his past life. Because he always remembers that when he was 10 years old, his father gave him a complete set of Journey to the West and a golden cudgel. Zhaoshuyuan.com, and, with a smile on his face, he said to him, Fan, starting from today, you have truly grown up. From now on, you must take care of yourself like the great sage of Qi Tian. Take care of your mother. Or perhaps because of this, when he first came into contact with Dream, He was deeply attracted by the fantasy of the master and disciple for people learning from the West, and his first sect he played was actually Fangsuan Mountain. If it weren't for the fact that Fangsuan is really too technical, all the advantages lie in PK, making it difficult to form teams in daily life. He could have been playing in this profession for 20 years. Perhaps time is the best medicine in the world. Even if Gu Fan recalls things a long time ago, he cannot feel too much sadness. I simply placed a bowl of noodles for myself and finished my sentence in 2 puffs. As he was cleaning the pots and bowls, a crisp warning sound also sounded in his ear. Ding! The level of Beijing District 1, Summer Palace, White Clothes Don't Tear, has been raised to level 20. Ding! The system upgrade task has been completed, and the system has been upgraded to level 3. Ding! Random reinforcement rewards have been distributed, and the super free feature has been enhanced. Ding! The new version of the super free feature will add a new free area. All non-player purchases hosted within the game will be paid for by the system. Ding! A new round of system upgrade tasks has been issued. Please raise the levels of the characters White Clothes Don't Tear and Nishang Dances for You to level 60, with a reward of mysterious items. Wishing the host a pleasant game. Chapter 8. Future consumption will be paid for by Tong Gongzi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sleeping trough. What thing? The sudden prompt sound startled Gu Fan and almost smashed the bowl in his hand. At this moment, he can't even believe his ears. Because the new, super free feature is really crazy. As long as you are a gamer, you should know that the economic system of Fantasy Westward Journey is a miracle in the history of gaming. The game currency in Fantasy is even more stable than some small country currencies in the real world. This fact has attracted countless game manufacturers to imitate, but unfortunately, even after studying it for 20 years, no manufacturer, not even the pig farm itself, has replicated the same legend once again. When the currency in Fantasy Westward Journey can anchor a real value for a long time, this game is actually detached from the game itself. In other words, fantasy currency is actually the earliest virtual currency that can be recognized by some people and has extremely high liquidity. And the economic system of Journey to the West is what major metaverse companies want to create 20 years later. In this situation, the Hanging Father actually opened a backdoor for him with an unlimited balance. Sleeping slot. With this thing here, I'm still at the level of farting. Can't we just buy a pig farm by buying and selling directly? In Gu Fan's view, if you were the protagonist of a book, then it would actually be the grand finale right now. When all non-player expenses in the game will be paid for by the system, he can definitely go to the NPC to buy some items for 0 yuan, such as flying symbols, cost square meters sold to players, and then monetize the obtained dream coins. In this way, the start.up funds for the acquisition of the pig farm will come, won't they? If someone finds this kind of shipment very troublesome, because transactions between players are full of uncertainty and time-consuming. There is a simpler way to spend money. He can go to the game NPC to purchase goods and then take them to the pawnshop to sell. Taking the Miao Dao as an example, a level 10 Miao Dao store sells for 2,000 dream coins, while the purchase price of an equipment purchaser is 912 dream coins. If he buys a vehicle of goods for 0 yuan from the weapons store and sells it to the equipment purchaser, he can earn 18,240 dream coins in one go. Running once for a maximum of 1 minute, that's 60 times in an hour, and you can earn 109,4400. One day, it's 26265,600. 1 year, it is 958,694,4000. Although the gold price ratio of various district servers was very chaotic before the arrival of the treasure pavilion, a 10 billion gold coin can be exchanged for several 100,000. If this money is put in 20 years, one can only buy a toilet in the third ring road of the capital. But now, it is 4 years. You can buy a house in that special size. And if several numbers move together, they can still earn more. As for what to say, brushing money in this way may ruin the game. There is no need to worry about this issue. Because in Gu Fan's memory, there were similar loopholes in his previous life's dream. That's Buddha's hand. Buddha's hand is a blue medicine from Fantasy, with a purchase price of 80 at the pharmacy and a buyback price of up to 200 at the pawn shop. When a player discovers this bug, they immediately smell the opportunity to become rich, empty their backpack, stock up at a pharmacy, sell at a pawn shop, and move out a house in just a few days. Due to the crude technology of the coder in this era, when the pig farm discovered this loophole without the player making a sound, they had already cleared all the dream coins and even bought the house. The outcome of the matter was that the player was accused of fixing the vulnerability. As for whether the pig farm has won or not, that means there are various opinions. Some media say that the other party did not tamper with game data, so the pig farm lost the lawsuit. Some media also say that it is illegal to maliciously exploit game bugs to damage the game environment and profit from it. More importantly, the crazy profiteers even wrote scripts to move. So, that guy was eventually sent in, and both husband and wife had to squat for 8 years. Due to the unclear outcome of the event, Gu Fankai did not immediately rush to the pawn shop as soon as he entered the game. Not to mention, he already has a system, why take the risk? But these are not important anymore, are they? Because the Buddha's hand incident has proven that Fantasy Westward Journey has extremely strong financial throughput. In this situation, the system actually provides him with a stable way to brush silver. Is this a bit outrageous? Gu Fan still couldn't believe that the system had opened up this kind of bug for him. After he opened the system panel and carefully studied the functions, a series of notes appeared in front of him. The system will only pay for the host's reasonable consumption in the game. When Gu Fan caught the 4 big words, reasonable consumption, he immediately curled his lips. Damn it, I knew the dry road was easy to walk through, but the back door was difficult to enter. All reasonable expenses between non-players will be paid for by the system. What's the difference between this and the final interpretation rights belonging to our company? Aren't you a domineering clause? That's right. When there were enough attributives in the phrase, all consumption, Gu Fan even thought with his feet and knew that the system had blocked his way of spending money. According to the system description, the current super free function can only allow him to learn sect skills and life skills for free, and then click on a little more cultivation. As for the rest, normal game consumption should be acceptable. For example, the deposit for escorts and the handling fee for shamans. However, although compared to overnight wealth making with unlimited money, this kind of free effort doesn't seem very impressive. But even so, Gu Fan was still satisfied. After all, just one skill from level 0 to 180 in a school costs 220 million dream coins. If all 7 skills are fully used, that would be 1.54 billion. In the future, this alone will consume 13,000 players. And the amount of dream coin for human cultivation alone is almost 700 million, and here it is several thousand. From the perspective of people's future living standards, these expenses may still be acceptable. But at present, it's quite expensive to find a book garden at www.zhaozuiyuan.com. In his past life, Gu Fan spent a lot of money on skills, but now, starting from today, future consumption will be paid for by Tong Gongzi. Gu Fan has a good mentality. Even if the system did not open a shocking backdoor for him, he did not have too much regret. Because there are too many paths to wealth in fantasy. Continue to handle the work in hand, and then drill back into the study. Perhaps he had already said from the beginning that he wouldn't burn doubles if he rose to 20, so when he sat back in front of the computer, the first thing he saw was the message sent by Free and Easy. Brother, are you still brushing? If you don't brush, then go and become a master. If it's okay, I'll go and form a team. The simple and unadorned language is the style of people in this era. If it were to be put in the future, even the captain who collects money to pull a car would not be so easy to speak, and he would be burned out no matter what. Perhaps he was infected by the simplicity of carefree, so after touching the keyboard, Gu Fan typed, "Okay, I'll go back to my school. Thank you, brother. We'll have the chance to play together in the future." With the press of the enter key, the message was instantly sent, and a few seconds later, carefree reply also arrived. "Good brother, goodbye next time." After communicating with Free and Easy, Gu Fan apologized a few times in the team, and then left the team directly after the battle. Then, he used the divine journey 1,000 miles to return to the Tang Dynasty. However, even though his next goal was to become a master, he did not immediately run to find old Cheng. But he controlled the blue-clad hero and ran out of the sect in a flash, running towards the direction of the pharmacy. Chapter 9. School Bugs. Infinite Double. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sherman is a classic mission in Journey to the West. Even in the future 20 years from now, it is still a must-do routine for many players. Fundamentally, it is because of its moderate difficulty and good rewards. Taking Gu Fan's current level as an example, in the level range of 20 to 39, players in the sect will only receive 3 types of tasks: sending letters, purchasing, and patrolling. Due to clear goals, a large amount of experience will be recorded with just a few mouse clicks. Among these 3 tasks, purchasing is the easiest one. Sect masters only ask players for level 0 weapons and equipment, level 1 medicine, some groceries, and steamed buns. Therefore, many players will prepare in advance when leveling up. As long as you are lucky enough, you can experience the exhilaration of a school round every 2 to 3 minutes. It is precisely because these memories have been engraved into Gu Fan's genes and become his instinct that he would rush into the pharmacy in Chang'an before becoming a disciple. Like bandits, they put medicine such as fragrant leaves, colorful flowers, and grass and fruit into their backpacks, then went to the grocery store to purchase other materials such as orchids, peach blossoms, and demon-capturing incense. Finally, they went to the Fusho store to buy incense, candles, and yellow paper. Due to the system paying the bill, Gu Fan quickly bought all the materials that could be stacked, and even the 20 squares on his body were already filled. After completing the preparation work, he returned to Old Cheng, clicked on the dialog box, and took on the sect task. Then he saw Old Cheng say, "I need pet rations now, go buy one quickly." "Yo. You're lucky." Gu Fan directly pressed Alt+G and threw the pet food to Old Cheng. The next second, Old Cheng smiled and said, "Well done. Reward you 1590 experience points and 286 coins. In just 3 seconds, 15 points of experience have been obtained." This fact made Gu Fan very happy. And when he realized that the money in his backpack had also increased, he was even more delighted. Because he understood how the updated Super Free feature was determined. As long as it is a normal game transaction, or in other words, a transaction aimed at strengthening the game character, the system will pay for it. In this case, the monetary reward obtained during the strengthening process becomes his pure income. Just like now, all the expenses he incurred to complete his school were reported by the system, so Chen Yaojin rewarded him with 286 dream coins, which became his exclusive income. Although compared to the ideal brush, this kind of financial income is indeed a bit slow. But obtaining unlimited returns with 0 investment. This kind of reward is already quite abnormal, okay? After all, the idea that as long as you put in effort, there will be rewards is just a beautiful vision for people. After staring at the rising money for a few moments, Gu Fan enthusiastically started his school. Perhaps it was because of good luck, but it could also be because he was blessed by his father. In the next 9 tasks, 8 of them were simple purchases, and the only difficulty was not delivering letters to Qin Mansion, but patrolling. After wandering around the Tang government's mansion for a few times, Gu Fan sent away the troublemakers. When he ran back to Old Cheng, the first round of the school was already completed. Gu Fan was very satisfied with the 2.and minute duration, because by brushing at this speed, he could defeat 24 rounds of sex in an hour, and even if he didn't double it, he could still advance to level 25. As for level 30, starting from now, brush for 3 hours until 10 p.m., and I estimate it will be enough. If I brush it all up to 12 o'clock in one breath, I should be able to reach 30 for all the sect skills. Although Dream of this era did not have a character level upgrade experience calculator or a school skill upgrade calculator, Gu Fan could estimate a rough target range based solely on his years of gaming experience. And when the beautiful future was right in front of him, he felt full of energy all over his body. Open the second round of the school directly, and the luck in this round is also very good. The first 9 tasks were all about purchasing, but what Old Cheng wanted was still what he had. After a simple throw, the task was completed in less than 40 seconds. Just when Gu Fan thought he could break through his limits and complete a round within 45 seconds, he found that there was a problem with Old Cheng's words when he took on the 10th task. I haven't seen Master Kong do for a long time. Here is a letter for you to send to him. Although this is a delivery mission, the recipient is the abbot of Huaxing Temple. The teleportation from Tang Dynasty to Huaxing is not even necessary for 15 seconds. So it's also very fast to do. When Gu Fan followed his habit of closing the dialog box and wanting to go to the next door to deliver the message, just as the mouse clicked, Old Cheng said, "There are too many things in your backpack to accept the delivery task. The total number of tasks has been cleared." What? The sudden prompt made Gu Fan blink his eyes, his small eyes filled with confusion. Because this system prompts him that he seems to have never seen it before. However, he can understand the meaning behind Chinese characters. So, feeling strange, he opened his backpack. 20 squares have been filled with materials and there are no mission items for delivering messages inside. Then he opened his own task interface. The empty panel is even cleaner than his pocket. This fact made Gu Fan frown. Sleeping slot, will the school be cancelled if the backpack is full and you can't receive the delivery task? Of course, Gu Fan knows that sect tasks can be cancelled. But the way he cancels in his memory is different from the present. There are 2 ways of cancellation in his memory. The first type of cancellation is when the player voluntarily cancels. When a player receives a school task they don't want to do, they only need to wait for 5 minutes to cancel it with their master, and then they can claim the school task again. Another option is for players to passively cancel. For example, being killed by a monster during a patrol mission. But like now, when the character's package is full, he can no longer receive the delivery task, which he has never encountered before. That's right, even though he has been playing games for 20 years, it seems like he has never encountered such a thing. Isn't this an ancient bug? Gu Fan murmured to himself. The next second, he started cursing again. Damn it. My 10th ring is double. Anyone who has played online games should know that no matter what game it is, as long as it is a task chain, the later the tasks will give more experience and money. The same goes for the school tasks in Fantasy. In a round of tasks, the reward for the 10th task is the most generous. And there is also a setting in Fantasy. Once the sect task is cancelled, the previous round will be invalidated, and new tasks will be counted again. But the player's double will not be recalculated. That is to say, if Gu Fan successfully completes 2 rounds of tasks, he can eat up today's double school reward. However, when he does not receive the second round's 10th delivery task, his 20th double school reward base value will change from the 10th in the second round to the 1st in the 3rd round. The gap here is very large. Big enough to allow Gu Fan to excel in several ordinary schools. Of course, in the eyes of outsiders, this could be just a matter of a few seconds. After all, Gu Fan can hand over the task by standing there. But for players who are currently leveling up, any loss of experience will cause them excruciating pain. However, since the incident has already occurred, Gu Fan can only accept it. He cursed and sprayed a few words, then had a conversation with old Qing again and took over the sect. As Gu Fan thought, the previous sect task chain has disappeared, and new tasks are calculated from the first loop. As this part was still purchased, what Gu Fan wanted was the cave grass he already had. He went to the book garden www.zhaoshuyuan.com, so Gu Fan directly threw the things to old Cheng and obtained 1590 experience. Gu Fan sighed helplessly at this double number, and just as he pondered how much experience he had lost in and out, he also completed the second purchasing task. Then, old Cheng said, "Well done. Reward you 2016 points of experience and 298 yuan. The task reward given by old Cheng Xian made a big question mark appear on Gu Fan's small head. Because in his calculations, no tears in white clothes has just run out of 20 double sects per day. Every sect he does next should return to normal rewards, but now, why is it still double? Gu Fan thought he was dizzy. Continue to receive the sect and continue to brush experience. Although he encountered wasting time patrolling in the next few tasks, he was not angry, but instead stared firmly at the system interface. Because every time he completes a task and asks old Cheng to deliver it, he receives double the reward. This fact made him smell an anomaly. When Gu Fan ran to the 10th task in the third round again, old Cheng sent him another delivery task. As his backpack was still full, he still did not receive it this time, and the school chain was cleared again. However, this time, Gu Fan did not curse, but instead eagerly took on the task again. After he clicks on old Cheng and receives the fourth round of sect tasks after doing two simple things, his eyes flashed with ecstasy. Sleeping slot. This special code is actually an infinitely double the size of the school. Gu Fan, sitting in front of the computer, exclaimed excitedly. Chapter 10. The first in the entire region. You are listening at novelfull.audio. That's right. When Gu Fan was once again forced to give up the school task chain and start a new round of school tasks because he did not receive the delivery task, he found that for every school he did, he received double the reward. This fact makes him overjoyed. Because when the double school can exist infinitely in the world, it will be the fastest way to upgrade in the entire fantasy series. There is no one. Although Gu Fan didn't understand what the situation was, he remembered that there was a very popular saying in this era, which was just a ferry ride, you'll know. So, Gu Fan entrusted his Tang Dynasty to the system, allowing him to continue running through the school. Then, he opened the IE browser, logged into Google, and searched for Dream Journey to the West, Unlimited School. Soon, a title related to it entered his field of vision. Super cool. Unlimited doubled the secret of the sect. After tapping the link, a 17173 Fantasy Westward Journey forum webpage pops up. On the first floor, it was written that, everyone knows that the fastest way to upgrade in fantasy is to do tasks, and the most effective task is to have 20 double sects every day. However, many times, people feel that 20 double sects are too few, and it's best that all sects can double. So now, I'll tell you the method I've discovered that can do double sects infinitely. Firstly, it is important to ensure that you have a certain amount of dream coin in your backpack. Secondly, you need to have a little bit of luck so that you can infinitely double your sect. The triggering method is very simple. The first round of the school is completed normally, and the first 5 tasks of the second round of the school are also completed normally. However, starting from the 6th round, you need to fill your backpack with various things. Next, if you can receive the task of delivering letters in the 6th to 10th tasks, then you have succeeded, because your backpack is full and you cannot obtain the letter items given by your master, you will not be able to receive the task, and the total number of times in the task chain will also be cleared. Since this clearing is not an active abandonment or a task failure, your double count will be recalculated. Just click on your master to retake the task, and you will receive a new double sect. Of course, if you brush the sect in this way, you will never be able to receive the final reward of the 10th mission in each round, which can be considered as having advantages and disadvantages. When Gu Fan saw this, the doubts in his heart immediately dissipated. Good guy, this is really a bug. Although he has been playing fantasy for 20 years, Gu Fan dare not say that he knows every bug in the game. After all, programs are like sponges, they look like a solid block, but who knows how many vulnerabilities are inside. In this case, as long as it can run, it is normal. As for the bug, just fix it. In this way, what Gu Fan cares about is actually the degree of harm caused by this bug. If this bug will seriously disrupt the game balance, the pig farm will definitely punish players who use the bug severely, and the most likely method to use is account suspension. Although he had his father hanging by and was likely able to escape the search of the pig farm, what if? As his gaze continued to scan and he wanted to know more, the various comments in the post made him feel relaxed because many people had already used this bug. Good person, master. Have a safe life. After seeing the post, I went to test it and spent 15 rounds of double training in an hour. This is simply amazing. Shuang YY. The double school allowed me to rise from 69 to 70 in one night. This is really so happy. It's the first time I've felt that the infinite school is so interesting. No one can report it. If you have experience, everyone can share it together, Landlord Nyobi. I have tried this method and the success rate is very high. However, although unlimited double can brush a lot of experience, the cost of becoming a sect is indeed high. This is like spending money to buy experience. The pioneering testing behavior of netizens greatly impressed Gu Fan. And the message, infinite double school is equivalent to spending money to buy experience, made Gu Fan nod. The release date of the post, July 28, 2004, further relieved him. It also reminded him a lot. In fact, many of the bugs in fantasy were fixed after many years of existence. For example, another bug in pawn shops is recycling the same equipment at different prices. The specific situation is that there are two types of equipment in fantasy. Those that have been identified and those that have not. The former can be used directly, while the latter requires attributes to be identified before it can be used. One day, a player ran out of backpack racks and wanted to throw unidentified equipment into a pawn shop to store as a pawn. He then discovered that the pawn shop owner could offer two different prices for the same type of equipment. This situation left him very puzzled, and only after he identified the equipment did he realize that the high or low price of pawns meant the amount of equipment attributes. The higher the recycling price offered by the pawn shop owner, the better the equipment pawned. The pawn shop owner's recycling price is normal, which means that the pawned equipment is ordinary. This bug allowed the player to see the business opportunity, so they began to crazily acquire unidentified products. Through pawn testing, only identify high-value equipment and sell low-value equipment. Then, countless top-notch stunt equipment appeared in the world of fantasy westward journey. After this news spread, there was even a craze for identification in the game, and everyone was playing with weapons. When did this bug first appear? No one knows. But in the forums of Yi Zhu and 17173, discussions related to it first occurred in 2005. The repair time for the pig farm is 1 or 2 years. Among them, there is a gap of 8 years. Although in the end, the guy who made a fortune by relying on military bugs was also sent in. Zhaoshuyuan.com. However, anyone with a little brain knows that when a bug can be widely spread on internet forums, it is impossible for the company concerned to lose sight of it. Especially for pig farms, which have created the richest people in a country, they cannot ignore the rumors, but they have not immediately repaired them. Not to mention, in the Buddha's hand incident, the pig farm was able to eliminate bugs with a thunderous force. In the case of Little Pig Nini's free prostitution experience and materials, the pig farm was urgently shut down. Even stopped twice in a row. This attitude is intriguing. However, judging from the time when the Bug Infinite Double School was announced, this thing is something that can be hacked. Because its essence is a way for games to be recycled and produced. That's right. When players will never receive the 10th mission reward from their sect. The output of the system is mostly smaller than the player's effort. Unless everyone has a system to pay for it. And since that's the case, Gu-Fan can confidently use it. Perhaps with the protection of the system, his double division remained unbroken for the next hour. By the time it was 8 p.m., no tiers in white clothes had already been promoted to level 30 by Gu-Fan. At 8.40, he also counted all 7 sect skills to 30. After waiting for the hands of the clock to reach 11.30, white clothes don't shed tears is like a rocket, rising to level 39. That's right. Opening the zone in less than 12 hours. Gu-Fan has already reached level 39. If nothing unexpected happens, he is now the number 1 in the entire district.